coming to you live from the only country in the world that has ever lost a war to emus. It's time for Destiny Down Under. Welcome to the 194th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. My name is Log Powerslave, and as always, I'm joined by Mylan Games. How the fuck are you going, Matt?
Mate.
No, I know, right?
Take that down.
Take it down a notch.
So I didn't stream this morning, right? And I had friends over, and it was 6 a.m. in the morning, and because I hadn't got my shout words out, I was telling stories and just yelling at them. And they're like, why are you yelling for? And I thought, oh, fuck me. Sorry. Don't know if you know this. I'm a big time streamer. And now I just yell at people at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning. And I don't know how to speak to other human beings normally without trying to make a fucking dumbass joke about it and trying to be the Joker every time.
Yeah, I don't know. We're kind of like that anyway, though, right? Like... loud, obnoxious fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I get that a lot from Rach. Rach is like, why are you yelling? Like, don't know. But yeah, no, look, special intro this week. Maximizing, that was on a few weeks back. That's one of the Patreon rewards. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, you want to derail the podcast from the off, you can do that by jumping on the Patreon. Geez, that was an early plug, wasn't it, Matty? Fucking got him.
That's pretty cool, mate. You did the fucking intro. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so look, I mean, Rick's okay with it. I mean, there's still a shitload of Rick. What I'm going to do is just sort of like build up a fucking archive of them. And if you record one, like even if you only subbed on that Patreon tier for a month or whatever, if you record one, forever. It's just in there forever and they'll just be randomly pop up. So that's the deal. Just look, you can go as hard as you want on us. As hard as you want on Australia, but just don't be a fuckhead.
What if the intro is just like, get fucked, cunt, and that's it? Like,
I mean, probably not the C-bomb straight off the bat.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not. That would be, I don't know, because that puts us in a different tier on YouTube. So.
Oh, yeah, shit. Sorry, yeah. YouTube. I've just demonetized the whole podcast with that one word.
We're 5 minutes in. It's fine. Whatever. It doesn't matter. And I'll just lie anyway. Shh, don't tell anyone. But yeah, good job. The only criticism is fucking emu. What is it with Americans being unable to say fucking emu? Mew.
Aussie.
Mew.
Aussie.
Like the fucking Pokemon, but with, like it was an e-cigarette, but it's an emu. Emu. Done. There we go. That's a bit of culture that we've shared today. Aren't we? Hey, look, we're off to a flying start. What we're going to do this episode, we haven't done it in a little while. We're going to do an open forum at the back end because there's not a huge amount to talk about, but there was some pretty tumultuous stuff sort of happened through the course of the week in our community, and we got a few cool things to talk about in terms of the raid, so we'll do that. But Maddie, we're going to start off with the traditional, how's your week been? How has your week been?
What did I do this week?
That's what I'm fucking asking.
Fuck. I finished Portal 2.
Is it good?
Mate, have you played it?
Mm-mm. I hear good things.
It is an absolute fantastic game.
I hear good things.
It's perfection. It's as close as you like. It's not the game I would normally gravitate towards.
Yep.
But it is absolute perfection. Oh, that's the other thing. So I finished that.
Then
I also started.
You need to talk about what happened yesterday because it was. Oh no!
Dude,
I can see the fucking glint in your eyes right now, and that's where you're going. So tell the people what happened yesterday because it was. Like, honestly, I was trying not to fucking burst out laughing while sitting at my desk. And there's like auditors coming through the factory and they just happen to walk through right at the fucking critical moment. And I'm like, I think I did like some kind of stomach injury just from like. Look at that hernia.
Okay, so I'm not really a Call of Duty person, like, but I just felt like a stream where I could just do nothing and I could just chill out and just talk and run around with a gun. So I got the Call of Duty beta and whatever the new one's called, Cold War, whatever. And I've realized that my love for storytelling and improv can be combined into fucking Call of Duty lobbies, right? So we start off the match and I get on the open mic and just go, lads. And then just a bit of a pause. Shut the fuck up. Just the fuck. And then there was someone who had, then following the shut the fuck up, someone started playing music through their microphone.
That's the classic. The classic COD, like you're in the lobby and some fucking dickhead is blaring fucking
right? He's playing music and he's got like whatever his gamer tag is with YT in it. So then someone else pipes up and goes, "Oh my god, so fucking cringe! You got YT in your bloody in your handle." And then I get back on the mic. I'm like, guys, I'm 5 subs off 100. Please, sub for sub, baby. And then everyone's like, 100, that's not much. But that the guy with the YouTube in his handle thought they were talking about him. So he starts going off his rock. He goes, "Oh, shut up." It was so Aussie too, because it was an Aussie room. And it was like, "Shut up, guy."
What was his flex? He's like, "Mate, I'm playing this game for a living." Fucking
yeah. He goes, "Look up FaZe Emerge on YouTube. I get paid to do this." Oh, it was actually funny as fuck. And I've realized that I need to find a role-playing game that I can jump into, because I feel like I shine when it comes to speaking to people online.
Yeah. I think this is such a dangerous precedent, because I was already sitting there thinking about, all right, well, I'm not particularly attached to my fucking Blizzard account now that Destiny's not on Blizzard, so I could go into COD and stir shit up, and if I get banned, then I get banned. I'll just fucking cop it. Dude, I fucking nearly died. It was so funny. But I mean, that's the thing. You can't, it's like lightning in a bottle. You can't force it, but when it happens, it's fucking gold. But then, I mean, the kicker to it was that this kid that was fucking touting himself had like, I mean, he might be getting paid to play games, but he's getting paid fucking 0.1% a month. It's not much. Poor kid.
Yeah, unless I was missing something, but
maybe.
I did go back, look at the VOD, because I'm going to make a highlight or at least a Twitter video from, because it's worth it.
Yeah.
I couldn't find his channel, or I couldn't find anything with substantial numbers on it anyway.
Nothing to fucking balk at.
But you know, I've used that. Oh no, I won't get into it. I've done it a couple of times. I did it in League of Legends too when I played League of Legends. I was like, "Can you please sub for sub? I'm so close to my goal." And then someone's like, "I'm only 13. I can't have a YouTube channel yet." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, I gotta get out of here, man." This is just... I'm trolling 14-year-olds, mate.
I mean, look, you are taking your channel's existence in your own hands, going into an open mic fucking COD lobby. That's for sure. You're really riding by the seat of your pants there, man. I thought it was brave, but when it does go wrong, it's going to go catastrophically wrong. It's going to have to fucking rip the Ethernet cord, delete your account
before the delay catches up.
Oh, good. No, that was such a good little moment. But I'm glad. Like what I've been doing, and because I'm working, I just listen to your stream. I can't watch all that much, but I just have it on like I'm listening to a podcast, and that alone is enough to fucking. I was dying. Just, I mean, just these dudes coming at you over comms. Anyway, we've laboured on it enough, but it was probably the highlight of my fucking week. So, got that.
It's up there. Yeah, it's up there. That was my week, and I was like, holy shit! I need to get into some role playing games, servers, fucking open world things where I can talk to people. That's what I need in my life.
You're going to need to call yourself something other than Mylan Games because you don't want that landing at your fucking door.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
You want to be able to go in and stir shit up and without repercussions. Anyway, not that we'd advocate doing that in a game that you care about, like Destiny. So don't think we'd ever do that for a moment. We're, honest, upstanding guardians, and everywhere else we're just fuckwits. But anyway, well, what else happened this week? Oh, my week. I got off Twitter for 3.5 days. I deleted it in a fucking spat. I went, ah!
Right.
Yeah, I got the shits. I deleted it. And then, I came back yesterday because Nick messaged me about Deej leaving. So I came back to send a message to the big dog. But, yeah. So, I don't know. Look, I don't really want to get into it because it'll just shit me off again. But we were talking about the kind of, at least from my perspective, we were talking about leadership in the Destiny community and how, there's kind of like, back in the day when it first started, you had dudes like Goth and all that sort of stuff, and they've stepped back from it now, but they were great leaders in that they set the tone. If something was out of whack, they'd fucking come down on it like a ton of bricks and that sort of thing. And they weren't like people that are, there's no pin that you fucking given to put in your shirt for being a community leader in Destiny. It's just someone with a profile that leads by example. And I've had plenty of private conversations of late that we've sort of moved away from that a bit as a community. And that's not a shot at anyone. That's just, I think your tweet sort of like summed up the exact opposite of what, like, of that perspective. But at the same time, I agree with it in that, like, we shouldn't be looking to put all content creators up on a pedestal of leadership just because they've got numbers.
Look, you know me, like, I only saw in retrospect that you might like. Well, there's two things. Like, yeah, maybe what you were saying was opposite of what I said, but I didn't fucking look at your tweet before I tweeted anyway, and that's why we're friends as well, because we often disagree with each other. So it was like, and people are like, that, we don't care. Like, fucking Log has his opinion, I have my opinion. I literally saw all this shit about just a general topic of leadership, and I just, I am very much of the opinion, because I'm a skeptical fucking grumpy old man, that nobody can be trusted in the online space, especially, Twitch and YouTube, because you've got monetary incentive there, and, people say whatever they fucking can say to get subs and to get people in there. That's why I tell my chat to fuck off every time they come along, just so they know that I hate them.
Yeah. So, like, I'm gonna be a bit wound up around the axles about it, because I couldn't believe that we were at the point where, as a community, we were literally arguing about whether or not we needed people setting an example. Like, it was like the skill-based matchmaking argument of pointlessness. But not even about the game anymore. Now we're just talking about fucking character traits of people that may or may not be around. And I thought, fuck this. This is the dumbest shit ever. If we're actually going to argue about positive things now, I'm done. So I left. But I kind of had a bit of time to think about it. And I think that, like, there's a couple of things that are at play really with it that, like, my values are definitely different to the vast majority of it, right? Like, most of the people I look up to and idolize and all that sort of stuff aren't fucking streamers or content creators, because for the most part, I don't really give a shit about that sort of stuff. The people that I look up to are musicians and fucking, especially heavy musicians and whatever, that to an extent build a platform to be able to speak about something that they see as an injustice or whatever. So they're very, very vocal people. So I kind of go, well, that's what you do with the profile. You use it to change the world or whatever, or at least impact your sphere of influence. But I guess that's not where content creators are. I don't know why you want a fuckload of followers if you're not going to lead at all, but I guess that's where we're at in the world. So maybe I'm just a old boomer.
Look, I come across as, like, the stuff that I make on Twitch and YouTube as, I don't particularly want to be a leader. I want to be an entertainer. Like, that's my main thing, is that I just want people to find that they can have a spot for entertainment. Like, that was my tweet that I did, was I was like, people associate entertainment with leadership, basically, and people also associate follower count with validation.
Yeah, and I think that's a dangerous thing, right? Like that's the shit thing about it is that like I think people sort of thought that like what I was saying was, oh, we need to get the people at the top of the directory and give them a pin and make them the leaders of the community and everyone has to do what they say. Well, I don't want that at all. That's a fucking dumb idea. Because like you only got to cast your mind back a few months to find a raft of examples of high profile people being actual pieces of shit who've since tried to slink back into the community. But that's another fucking story. We'll leave that alone. I don't know. I just thought, fuck this. So I just fucking left. And I'm like, whatever. I don't, like I'll probably care too much. And like, I know that I care too much. I felt great. And honestly, I think it's changed the way, like I just don't give a fuck now. So I can go on and I'll tweet something and then fuck off for a day and then come back and I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay. So I think in that, like in that respect, it's been good. But the irony of it is that the thing that brought me back was the fact that the actual leader of the Destiny community left. So is leaving Bungie. So there we fucking go.
Oh,
do we need leaders? Yes. I don't know. I just want to watch the world burn at this point. I don't know. I don't want to get into a big philosophical debate about it, but maybe that's for another time. Maybe we'll do that on the Patreon cast.
Let's rage about it in the Patreon cast. It's this whole, mate, it's this weird culture of streaming. It's like the new version of an actor or whatever, someone that you spend a lot of time with. What's that effect? There's a psychology effect for it where when television was first invented, you had news reporters. People were building like pseudo relationships with reporters because they were seeing them every night. But even though the conversation was only one way, it was they're on your TV screen, but you feel like you know them because you watch them every day.
Yeah.
There's an actual word. And then parasocial relationships. That's the one. Parasocial. And there's, I don't know. There's probably a new term for fucking this social media era where it's actually not as one-sided as you would have a TV reporter. And then there was actors, right? Everyone wanted to be a movie actor and people aspired to that. But that conversation is still very one way. The actor talks to you, sends stuff out, doesn't really call it back. And then you've got something like social media and, Twitch where people do talk to you.
It's not a simp. It's not a fucking simp.
Simp.
You toxic shit. That's just, look, if you just listen to this podcast at work or wherever and you miss out on the live streams, just know that that's the tier of human that turns up here live. The kind of people that say simp.
But, mate, it's interesting because, look, it happens to me too, right? If I go into like a bigger streamer and I say hi, and they're like, "Oh, hi, Marlon." I'm like, "Oh, yes!" They said my name. Dopamine hit. Very nice. It's fucking weird, mate. I don't know.
But I mean, I've resolved to just kind of just worry about my own shit, which is, what the fuck was that?
Sorry, that's me phone, mate. That's me bloody phone, mate.
Was it Twitter?
No, I don't have Twitter on this phone. There's nothing fucking on here.
Well, it's not me texting you.
People actually messaging me. I had a nap yesterday, and people were sending me all sorts of messages. I'm like, fuck, they found out how to get me. One was you. You were texting me. Danny was texting me. Someone else was like, fuck, everyone stopped texting me. Oh, no.
Your colleague and your fucking fiance found out how to get you.
What kind of ringtone is that? I'm glad you asked. This is a Red Magic 5S gaming phone.
I don't know what you were doing, but I want to cut. Look, don't encourage him, chat. Make it end. But yeah, I don't know. I don't give a shit. So That's been my week anyway. It's just kind of just been pissed off a bit and then coming back and having a laugh. And I'm actually looking forward to getting in and playing tonight because I didn't on Wednesday. So I feel like I'm itching.
Look, I am actually super looking forward to jumping back into Destiny. Oh wait, the other thing that happened this week is I did the we had Ascendant Nomad on, and I did the Crucible School.
Oh fuck yeah! How did that go?
Yeah, really good. I don't think there was anything. I mean, I hadn't played in 3 months, probably more, and I don't think I played Destiny since I started Halo.
I think you might have jumped back for a day, maybe, if that.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think because I think there was something that you did, but anyway, doesn't really matter.
And I did actually okay. Got some advice on Crucible. I think it's my issue with Destiny is I don't take it serious enough in PvP. I just run around, like a fucking chicken without a head.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
rather than being like, all right, this is this lane. I should stay here, wait to see if anyone comes through, then pop them, then move here and get there. I just got to get the sweatpants on a bit, really.
Sweatpants. I don't know. I mean, I still don't think all that much, but I think that like the thing that you will do if you listen to Nomad's advice is form better habits so that when you're not thinking, you do less dumb shit, and that's really it.
Yeah,
because that's where I'm at. That's the only improvement I've made is to like
do less dumb shit,
concentrate for 5 games and go, okay, if I play like this, I will be less bad. And then it kind of becomes habit to play that way and I'm less bad all of a sudden. But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But that's good. I'm glad that you did that. And are you going to go again? Or are you just going to work on your stuff? And
well, I don't know how serious Nomad was, but he did come into my stream afterward and said, "Oh, fucking 1v1 ya. Every kill you get, I'll give you a sub." I was like, mate, don't get my competitive side out because I'll fucking be here doing Kovacs aim training 2 hours a day, fucking PvP sweats. Just see how let's do it. Yeah, fine. How long do I have to train? Fucking Log knows this. Danny knows this. People close in my life know this about me. When I get locked into something, I go absolutely ballistic at
psychotic.
it. And then I do nothing. It's either 110% or it's nothing. 0.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm a bit like that. Like I get bored with things and move on and whatever. But you are like you swing between. You've got 2 extremes. You were either completely uninterested or psychotic, and it's like that's it. It's like that's it. It's like that fucking when you were playing that MMO like a month ago. You were like, and then it's just fucking gone.
What is it?
Puff of smoke.
Genshin Impact. Gone.
Weeb shin. Yeah.
Gone. Loved it. Poof. Absolutely loved it.
Great game. Lost interest. Bang. Never to return. Mylan Games. Smoke grenade. See you later. Perfect Hunter. Look. I don't know. I still reckon we need to build towards a 1v1, me versus you, to kick off the new season. Yeah. I want to do that. I think that's good because I know that like you are probably mechanically a little bit better than me, but I reckon I'm a little bit like the habits that I've formed are probably a little bit better than yours. So that's the difference. We'll see. Do lazy habits or actual ability to aim win out?
Hey.
Yeah.
Mate, we've been shit talking so much today. Whatever.
What? Fuck. Guess what? It's our podcast. If you don't like it, fuck off. No one cares. Anyone in chat care that we're sitting here talking shit? Can I get a vote? If you care, can you speak up now so I can ban you? Fuck.
Right. Listen. We did this shit post about having the world's worst raid team.
Oh, it's not a shit post. I'm fucking serious.
Are we doing it?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like fucking 1 a.m. for you. I know you wanted to do it. I know you've been, because you always mention it whenever because we were going to talk about the raid race today, and I thought Matt has always wanted to do the raid race, but neither of us are sweaty enough dudes to be like really in there competing. So how do we do it and make it our own? Well, we literally try and make the world's worst raid team instead of the world's first raid team.
Oh, I fucking love it.
There's been some interest. There's been like Gamma was fucking all over it. He's like, I'm in. This is.
Can we get Gamma in? Because he is hilarious.
Yeah,
he'll be funny as fuck.
Yeah, I reckon we can lock him in, and there's a few other people that I want to just make because how people reply to that, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll do it, and I'm like, no, you could. This is like us getting up at fucking 4 a.m. to start drinking to do it right. You better be on
what
it.
What day is it on?
It's on a fucking. It'll be like a Saturday morning for us, so it'll be like 1 a.m. Saturday morning for you. It's fucked. It's 4 a.m. for me. So. I don't know.
4 a.m.'s easy. 4 a.m.'s easy.
It's easy for you fucking weirdo that like you don't even have a fucking job and you get up at 5 a.m. You're a fucking head case.
Excuse me. Streaming is work.
No, it's not. You're just going into fucking COD lobbies. No, you fucking do this for a living. This has gone straight off the boil, straight away, hasn't it? This is why we need a guest to fucking keep. Like, we need Ain't Pro or someone to fucking move the thing. Or Nomad last week was unreal because he's like, okay, cool.
What's the next thing on the thing? Yeah,
more professional podcasters than we are. All right, I'm going to hit the sting. We're going to dive into the TWAB, and then we'll do the open forum thing at the end, and you can come in and fucking ask us whatever you want to tell us, whatever you want to talk about. Let's do it. All right, this week at Bungie.
All right, just red COD lobbies, lads.
I only ran this thing then because I had like such a fucking itchy nose, and I need like 10 seconds to just go. Yeah.
Oh, got him.
Yep, got him, and then I dobbed myself in anyway. But this week at Bungie, let's just blast through this. The big takeaway from this was there's two big takeaways. One very happy, one not so happy, but the raid race for the next World's First begins on Saturday, November 21 at 10 a.m. Pacific. So if you're on in Australian daylight savings time, that's 4 a.m. If you're over on the western wasteland like Maddie, it's 1 a.m. And other places, I don't know, just go and punch it into the fucking world clock and figure it out yourself.
What day
Saturday.
is Beyond Light come out? The 9th, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, if it's Saturday, November 21 in America, that'll be Sunday our time, not Saturday.
Yeah.
Anyway, but admittedly, heaps longer run in to this one. This is basically more akin to Last Wish than any of the more recent raids that we've had. And I think that's good because we're not going to see that fucking thing of everyone having to run through the campaign with their worst characters first and all of that sort of shit. You'll be able to do it at do it the way you want to do it, and then focus on sort of that after that second reset, be able to then like do the reverse fucking leveling and get your favorite character or whatever you intend to run the raid with.
Fuck, do I need to play Destiny before fucking this? What light level should I be at? Should I at least try to get more pinnacle gear?
It's not going to matter, Matt, because it's going to basically drop us all. You know how the soft cap works. It'll fucking it'd probably help if you're a little bit higher.
Yeah, like I guess just starting off. Or do you think there's enough time to be pretty fucking casual about it? And
you know what? Speaks is in chat and he says you don't need to prep, and I trust him with my life. Because he's way more switched on than you or I will ever be. So there you go. You don't need to prep. Good. You don't need to worry about it. So look, there's a few things, and it's interesting because I'm really looking forward to this. I'm hoping it goes well because there's still a lot at play with PC and all of that, which is where we are. And cheating and all of that. There's a few caveats that have been put into this. So we'll go through that now. But contest mode will cap all players at 20 power below each encounter for 24 hours. So no matter how high you drive your light up, you'll be capped at 20 below. It's set for every encounter. So it's not even that you'll get to the final room and it'll just be off, which I don't think it's ever been that way, but I think that it's sort of, you've been able to, if you were at a higher level at the last thing, it'd raise, but I don't believe that's the case anymore. Artifact power will be disabled during contest mode. Fair enough. 1230 is your team's goal to be at the cap for all the encounters. So
1, 2, 3, 0.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
It's a raid puzzle. It's a raid puzzle already. What does it mean?
And it says being above 1230 will not provide any additional advantage in the final fight. So you're basically locked at a maximum of 1230. If you are at 1230, you'll be at the cap for every activity you face. So that's the deal. So the activities you'd assume are ramping up to 1250.
What are we now? 1060.
1060. Oh, well, not including artifact. 1060. So the artifact will reset anyway. So everyone will be kicking off from 1060.
Well, the artifact light level, right? Because that bumps you overall. Won't disable the 20 levels, will it?
Well, it's just artifact power will be disabled. So boom, you've got to do it off gear score.
Oh wait,
you've got to do it off gear
artifact.
Score. Yep. So it's go out, grind, get gear, and raise your level. Otherwise, because that's disabled, you can't go and Lost Sector Goblin your way to it. You've got to go out and get your pinnacles and all that sort of shit. So very interesting. I'm sure there'll be guides that will come out that if you are serious about this sort of stuff, you can look into how to best order your approach. And it will be different to recent raids. So definitely look for that if you're not super well versed. I know I'll be probably annoying the living shit out of our group of mates, people like Jugs. Jugs is, I believe, I don't know, I'm not sure that I can announce this, but I believe Jugs might be coming out of retirement for it. Very exciting. Very exciting. One of Ninja's last wish fight team. I don't know. I'm very excited. I hope he does because he's man is an animal, a fucking animal. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, he does. Why are we so bad, Log? Why are we so bad and all our friends are so good? Do we not care enough? Or we
basically because we've spent 5 years cherry picking our friends group to carry us through fucking activities. No, I don't know. I mean, we just, I don't know. I mean, I think that you and I have one approach to this game where we go in to yell out and carry on first and play the game second, and other people don't have that approach. And that's kind of just the way it is. But I've been learning a lot, and especially through doing the Grandmasters and stuff with, as I mentioned earlier, with Speaks. It's we do that on a Monday night. Shameless plug. If you want to come and watch, learn from him and watch me get fucking dragged through by my boot heels, you can enjoy that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm getting better, but I'm certainly never going to be like, that's why we can do a raid team and call it world's worst, knowing that we're never going to get, never even going to be remotely close because we don't take it seriously enough.
Just imagine the absolute lunacy if we fluked an encounter like Last Wish when no one could work it out.
With a vault in Last Wish.
And we had the world's worst raid and we're all there fucking plastered, carrying on, and we're like in the lead.
Yeah, well, you know what they say: fortune favors the brave and the drunk. So we're gonna be there somewhere. All right, so the ritual this year for naming winners will be different, following it all immediate fanfare and bustle that follows the checkered flag. Our data scientists will be spending extra time validating the finishing team's run. Expect the official announcement for World's First to come a little bit later than usual. Disqualifications can happen as per the official rules. So finish strong. It seems like not much is going to change with anti-cheat.
Yep.
Yeah. That was...
What this means is we're going to look at the data, and if you have invulnerability, if you somehow magically appeared fucking 4,000 power ammo and you melted the boss immediately,
we're going to disqualify you for life and hopefully ban the living shit out of it. I mean, look, someone's going to do it. My concern isn't that. My concern is that someone's going to cheat and then feed information to a team that's doing it legitimately that, you know, people can't track that. But if someone was to go through and make themselves invulnerable, they can stand there and figure out all the encounters and then tell the team how to do it, and then they're through. And the reality of this is that, like, not everyone's streaming it. So, you know, like, I mean, Wrath of the Machine was won by a team that no one was streaming. So, you know, it happens. I don't know. I am, it does concern me, like, on numerous fucking levels. I mean, look, to say that we're assuming that not anything's going to change with anti-cheat is probably a bit egregious. I think that they want to be double sure before they announce anyone, and that's the way it reads. But I was a bit bummed when I read that it was going to be like, it does read that way. I'll put it that way. But they're still doing the belt and still doing all that stuff. So obviously they have faith in their ability to be able to weed this shit out. So that says something. I was concerned that they were going to go, you know what, we're just going to release it and we're not going to celebrate this shit anymore because you fucking ruined it. Good. Or, like we're going to do one per platform. And if you do it on Xbox, it's sort of more legit than anywhere else or PlayStation at the same time and console. Sorry, I've probably just started a fucking new console war. But anyway, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Obviously, historically,
I didn't even think about that. Now I'm like, if you really wanted to kickstart your Twitch career, I mean, and you were desperate enough, boom, there you go.
I don't know. Maybe it takes a nefarious mind like mine to fucking think that sort of shit up. But if I've thought of it, someone else has as well. So yeah. I'm hoping that there's like a fucking bandwave of all like accounts and shit and all the tools that they've got, and then they do the raid race. I wonder
how cheats work with like, like the full fire team wipes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I
have no experience. To do something with like where are we at with DDoSing and that kind of stuff and information? How easy is it to get information?
I mean, on PC it's harder because of the way Steam works, the way Steam connects peer-to-peers. It's harder now than it was on Blizzard. I believe it can still be done, but I mean, I play Destiny, like my game, I play through a VPN anyway. So good luck.
Yeah, see,
because I've got the two PCs, I can fucking play through a VPN, and have all of my streaming and shit. Because I don't know if it's the same everywhere else, but streaming through a VPN in Australia is kind of cooked. It just, for whatever reason, there's like all these weird things. You're sort of like forever rejoining your chat and just nasty stuff like that. But I'm gold. Might be time to upgrade, Matty.
Honestly, that's. I'm honestly thinking that I'm probably gonna moving to two PCs, mate. I just know I'm gonna be yelling.
Just be prepared. I might as well
make content from it. I'm gonna fucking stream it from my fucking phone.
Stream yourself in your own mental anguish.
Have everyone yell at me while I put the wrong fucking things in.
It'll be like remember when Henry Cavill built a PC and everyone frothed over it? It'll be that, but exactly the opposite. It'll just be rage. All right, so what have we got here? So there's two emblems. I'll pull them up now. One for doing it in the first 24 hours, and the other for completion. Pretty cool, pretty snazzy. I'm not sure if we can really glean anything about what the raid's from these emblems. That kind of looks like it kind of looks like Kirby, if I'm honest. The first thing that reminded me of was Kirby. Like if you put a few little feet here and he was inhaling shit, that'd be Kirby.
It reminds me of like a pixel skull.
Maybe it is. It kind of looks a bit like the Exo Stranger if it was pixel art Exo Stranger. I doubt that. I doubt there's going to be any pixels or Exo Strangers in the raid. So whatever.
Why wouldn't there be?
Good question, Lore Master. That's why you're on the big bucks. Look, we'll dive into the big news of the week for console players is that field of view sliders will actually be coming to the game. It's a fucking huge deal. I know that we talk. I know that we. Look,
I can't wait to just talk to console players and go, "How good is it, mate? How good is it, mate?"
I think that's the thing that comes across because, like, I've seen a few tweets about like, fucking PC elitists and shit, and part of me goes, console peasant. Whenever I see someone say that, but at the same time, I agree because I don't like that sort of stuff. So the better they can make Destiny on a console for you as a console player, I'm fucking all for it because I never intended on being a PC player to begin with. I was perfectly happy on the Xbox, and it wasn't until I loaded it up and I was playing it in fucking and I'm like, fuck, I can't go back, and I didn't, and here I am. So I want it to be as good as possible on every single platform. And look, the way it's going, there's cross-generation play on each of the individual services. So, I mean, obviously not with PCs because it's, all one big soup. But look, I'll pull the table up here. Here you go. They're back compatible. Well, not back compatible, but if you own it on the older version, you automatically get the new version. The frame rates are now 60 FPS, 4K, field of view sliders, faster load times, cross-generation play. I think, dude, super, super positive stuff for those looking to get into the next generation of consoles in the very short-term future. You can, just buy the game once and you don't have to fucking worry about it, because I've been stung with that in the past so many times. Buying the same game twice across 2 console generations is cooked, and you should never have to do it. And I'm glad that you don't have to do it with Destiny. So yeah, I mean, positive news. I want it to be. I want the game to be fucking incredible for everyone.
I think, honestly, I don't think Destiny is the best Destiny. I don't think Destiny is the best MMO like looter shooter either. But I can't see a game trumping it yet. And I think the 60 frames a second and the 4K on console, Destiny is a fucking nice looking game, and it's free to play certain aspects. Like it's well in the lead for a live service looter shooter.
I'll be completely honest and say that, like, I'd consider jumping back to a console now to do the PvP stuff so that I can fucking not have to necessarily worry about all the hackers and shit. And I think that, like, that'll be you'll see that be the new kind of fucking approach from a lot of the top tier streamers and shit who've got the ability to play on multiple platforms. Like, it's all there. You can use the same characters across multiple platforms. I think you'll see that, because it's getting to the point where, kind of like, of course, Destiny on a PC is fucking incredible. It runs like silk. It's stupid, and it always has. But we're at the point now where it's getting, like on PC, there's issues that you just won't face anywhere else. So I think the more options we have as players of the game, the fucking better it is. And if you're on console, I can't wait to hear people just fire up about how great it is to be playing in the faster refresh rates. Just going like, what the fuck is this game? You'll love it. I know you'll love it, because it was what got me. Look, there's another thing. We weren't gonna talk about this, but because it's kind of self-serving, and a good friend of ours has mentioned in it, I'm gonna bring it up. But Bungie have started doing this, Patron of the Arts, where they are getting art pieces from the community or from community artists and selling them on the official store, which is unreal recognition. And I'm stoked to see them do it. So we've got Clinton Felker with Ghastly Guardians at the top. John Sermon with the Cult of Nokris. Farian, right? I knew I recognised that. And down the bottom, good old Brandon.
The Gamma
Trap.
Gamma Trap.
I mean, we're not going to tell you self-servingly to just go and buy Gamma's shit, but go and buy Gamma's shit because we love him. He's a fucking good egg.
Gamma needs the money at the moment because Display's fucking hurting us all.
What the fuck happened with that? Do you think? Look, I mean, not to put a dour note on this, but if Bungie are like looking to more formally extend the ability to artists to sell stuff through the official store, do you think that's going to see, is that where the conflict of interest sort of occurs?
I have no evidence for this.
Because there's been shit getting taken down off Pinterest and stuff for months now, like 6 months. My
gut feeling is Bungie is going to crack down in some way on selling artwork, and it's going to upset me. And I'm talking to Bungie Legal at the moment. They've actually been really nice. They actually reached out because I was having so much trouble with Display.
That's good. No, I mean, look,
at the same time,
I don't think
they didn't even know. The guy also didn't even know if Bungie had claimed it.
Yeah, I think there's an intermediary in there that's going through and like just knocking anything and everything on the head. And it's like sort of that, when some fuckwit company comes through and just tries to claim 90% of the videos on YouTube for no apparent fucking reason and with no apparent basis. It seems like that to me.
Honestly, if they do something like, oh, dude, look, we've gone down this slippery slope, and I think it probably started with I think it probably really blew up with Guardian Con because their current IP agreement is you can't sell artwork unless you have expressed like if you get permission, basically express permission from Bungie. And then Guardian Con happened, and that really helped solidify artists selling artwork. And so, of course, you go sell it at Guardian Con.
The Artist Alley and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I've not been, but even talking to you, I know it was a huge deal.
Yeah, yeah. And then you go from that, and then you go and, continue selling it. But technically, you're not allowed to, but it's been allowed. And I feel like they're going to update their terms of service, and we're going to work out whether we can still do it. And my opinion will be this. It is, of course, they can do it. It's their IP. We have a pretty good run with them. I feel sorry for artists because in my mind, I think artwork that they do is very transformative, regardless of them using Bungie IP. And if you compare that on a whole to something like some dude on fucking Twitch talking about a fucking podcast, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it just feels unfair to put like 20 hours into a custom artwork piece. And because it's the Dark Blade, like Gamma Trap. All right, well, that's Allah cool. That's Bungie's IP. We created that character. You can't make profit off it. But guess what? I could sit in Twitch, people could donate to me, and I could not say a word, and I could shoot Allah cool in the head, and I'll get paid for that.
Yeah, it's so murky, man. It's so murky. It's like, look, if that's the path I want to go down, I don't feel it's a particularly, it's a double-edged sword in that people being able to put their stuff officially on the Bungie store, that's fucking incredible, right? Like that's a huge deal. And like even scrolling through this and seeing Gamma's artwork in there in the TWAB where it fucking should be is great, right? And if they're going to give them the opportunity to sell it through the Bungie store so it reaches fucking heaps more people, great.
Yeah.
But there is a shortfall in how do you survive as an artist between the point that you go, okay, I can, my work is at the point of quality where I can sell it and people want to buy it, and then I've been noticed enough to be on the Bungie store. Like if you could submit art that could then be put onto, like in much the same way you do to any, like merch stuff. If they're going to facilitate that, that's fucking great. But to come through and knock profit off all Destiny artwork on the head without giving people an avenue to like do it officially, because people want to do it. It's clear. It's a fucking huge thriving community. Like I'll say this, as a musician, I sit here and I am genuinely fucking envious of Destiny's art community. And I'm literally right now behind the scenes working at trying to fucking up the music side of the community, because I look at that and I'm like, they're fucking so supportive of each other. They're so talented, and it enriches a community like nothing else. You might not agree with someone, but you can fucking sit there and admire a piece of artwork together. And that's what art is, right? But unless they're provided with an avenue to do this officially, I feel like it's just going to come through and just knock a whole lot of people who are like, and just entering that, they could have, there could be people out there that are fucking, you look at Gamma's artwork, like look at this right here. It is insane. It's as good as anything that's in the fucking official, artwork for the game. It is on that level. And for every Gamma that's out there that we know about, there's probably 10 other Gammas out there that we don't, that are probably just finding their feet or maybe just coming to the franchise. There needs to be an avenue that these people can be in and grow. And I hope that that's something that they take seriously if this is the path they're going to go down. I'm very interested to see where the legalities of writing music about a game fall.
Mate. So anyway, I'm going to be arguing with the Displate a bit longer and potentially moving to another platform because we need to get something sorted, but need to work out if someone's shit claiming my fucking artwork or Gamma's artwork, which I have a license to sell, or whether it's Bungo. Don't know yet.
I mean, it'd be very helpful if Display to just fucking tell you, but I know that they won't. Their whole system will be geared to protect the person who's claiming, which is not really great either. Anyway.
It's funny, I've like literally with Display, I've been on both sides of it. I've had accounts take Gamma's artwork, re-upload it and sell it. So I've had to claim it. And now I've had people claim my stuff, and I'm just getting a real gutful of what it's like to be an artist. I'm like, holy fuck, man.
Imagine, dude.
There's no system yet. It's a wild west with the electronics, mate. Everyone's just stealing everything.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you see that all the time. Destiny artwork stolen. It's either used in fucking, ads for cheats or, or just crudely screen printed onto merchandise to sell. And, that's fucked. And I don't know why anyone would want to make that even harder for the artists, right? And that's the way it seems to be going. So I very much hope that isn't the case, but I'm also fucking feeling a little bit anxious about it. Yeah, well, I mean, look, Gamma's in the fucking TWAB, and that makes me happy, so we'll leave it at that. And look, the big footnote at the end of the TWAB was that Deej, who's been sort of like an excellent steward for this community for years, since its inception. Obviously, he was here before Destiny started, but is moving on to where unknown, no one knows. But I think it's indicative of a time of change for all of us. He's done an incredible job. I mean, I'm not involved in a huge number of other gaming communities, but I know that for a long time they've set a pretty coherent tone from the top down, and it's a community that most of us are proud to be part of, and I think that in large part is owed to Deej steering the ship on that front, and I'm super grateful that he's for the work that he's done in that respect, and wish him all the best in the future. So, there's that. I don't know. It feels like fucking graduating high school or some shit.
Oh, look, I'll say that I've already told my stream. I told him a little bit. I think fucking Deej's job would have been really fucking hard.
Yeah.
Especially moments like, oh man, Destiny's been a fucking roller coaster. Curse of Osiris D2 launch, just name the every second expansion.
Yeah, when you put it like that, I can see why he'd be like, no, I need change.
Right.
9 years.
And obviously does that pretty well. I had not a very pleasant run-in with him pretty recently. I was being a bit of shit cunt. He was a bit of a shit cunt. Couldn't come to an agreement, and we left it at that. But that's basically it, really. Like,
at the end of the day,
I don't think he's a bad person. This is what happened. I was looking after the best interests of I thought was the Australian community, and he was looking after the best interests of his employees, and we fucking really butted heads on it. And I saw a different side of Deej, which I don't really like, but I understand where he's coming from, and he probably understands where I'm coming from, and I wish him all the best.
Yeah, that's it. And I think that's the other part of it, is that like you can't do that job and just be giving everyone fucking hugs all the time either. Like that's the public side of it, that most of what we see is positive. But I mean, we've been involved in things where we've dealt with him, and he's been incredibly pleasant as well. So look, I think sometimes when you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Yeah. And,
no, but you know what it was?
It was a learning
this is what
experience.
It was for me, because this is like right in my time where I started like speaking more truthfully on Twitch, and everyone expects like Lord YouTuber Mylan, who's been pleasant. And so it was massive whiplash when I was like, hey, fuck you guys, fuck this, fuck that, this is bullshit, and saying a whole bunch of bad stuff about Destiny. And that offended a whole fucking wave of people.
I mean, like, to clarify, what it was that we all had the Bungie bounties and stuff, and it wasn't being sort of like rebroadcast by official Bungie channels. And that was the issue, because we were getting people accusing us of just like fucking faking it and stuff, or how do I know this is real, or it's not in the TWAB, it's not real. So that was the issue. But and you, being you, dealt with it without any sugar-coated topping. And I mean, admittedly, it did resolve it to some extent, but that was the point of conjecture. I think there's a lot of things that both you and I could have done differently, and the same could be said for the other side.
Yeah, but we're always the people like, I have had an extensive career in conflict resolution and difficult conversations, from working as a health professional to working in palliative care. I've told fucking families of loved ones dying. Like, I'm not afraid to have tough conversations with people. This shit's easy. It's talk about fucking video games. Like, and we're the kind of people that, I don't know. I'm happy to always talk about it. I'm happy to say I'm wrong. I'm happy to say I'm right. I'm happy to fucking.
Yeah, I think that's equally part of it. And I'm not like, that's not a reflection on anyone other than that, but than us. But I always feel like people forget that they can just go, hey, I cocked this up. And you know what? People forgive you. If you're wrong, and it's fine. And in this instance, there's kind of things that we did that were wrong, and we went, okay, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah.
We are genuinely sorry. So anyway, like, fuck.
And I think the thing with me, and I'm not going to include you in this because I think maybe you don't, but for me anyway, when I do say something, I usually have a lot of really good points to why I say it. Like, I might not deliver it in the best way, but like, if someone calls me out on something, so why'd you say that? I'll have a fucking hit list of things to say. Oh, listen here, this is why I said this, and this is who I'm standing up for, and this is what I believe in. It's not just like a offhanded tweet or whatever you do, Log.
Yeah, I just walk around with a fucking shotgun in my pocket. What? You pissed me? Boom! Fuck off.
Anyway, there you go. I wonder do you reckon he's going to stay with Bungie with their new IP, or do you reckon?
By the sound of it, he was moving on from Bungie, so it sounds like a career change for him. Which dude, he's done the hard yards. It can't have been an easy job for an incredibly long period of time. It's longer than I've worked at a job. I'll put it that way, and I don't have to deal with people yelling at me. Yeah. So he was there back when I was Halo fanboy, and like well before Destiny. So I knew who he was then. So it was it is sad, and I think that like the Destiny community does lose a little bit of its identity in that respect. But at the same time, it's a fucking incredible opportunity for someone else to come along and rise to that challenge and do the same job. I've got no doubt that there's really good leaders and that sort of stuff in place, and he touches on that in his thing. And it's that you're always working to work yourself out of a job because you want to be able to. The people that work for you or could come in and do your job can do it, and you're promoting them and growing their capacity to perform in the role. So I think it's an exciting time as well. And look, for what it's worth, I hope he knocks it fucking out of the park with wherever he chooses to go, because he's clearly a fucking absolute monster, intelligent dude. So there you go.
Yeah,
there we go.
All
right. Yep. Look, well, that's the end of the 12, but it only took us a fucking hour to get through the 12. Wow.
Oh, mate, I've got a bucks party. Let's fuck off. No.
You got a buck? Wait, no, right. Okay.
Today.
What's happening on the law front this week? Is it a quiet week? What's going on?
Mate, it's been a quiet month. Okay. Nah, you know the topic. I was so desperate. So desperate. I'm doing the video on Aldrin versus fucking that new vendor. What's his fucking face? Shaw Han.
Yeah, okay.
The one that
I absolutely don't think is Aldrin.
Yeah, doing a bit of a deep dive on Aldrin.
Okay.
Mainly because I wanted to just remind myself and to have a look at some of the things. You probably know all the pieces of evidence, but I can give you. I did all the pros and cons. I haven't seen them all together. There was a Paul Tassi article. There's a good couple Reddit posts, and then a couple ideas from myself. put together in a big mosh pit of these are the reasons why it could be, these are the reasons why it wouldn't be. So,
all right, give me your top few for each. Top couple of reasons each way.
Probably haven't read,
okay.
And this is the one that I really like, and this is
a pro or a con?
Anywhere. This is a pro, and would be a very nice tie-in. So he has the gun Kvostov, right?
Yep.
Which is the very first gun we find in Destiny.
Yep.
Right, for New Light players. We also got the exotic mission for Kvostov in Razvine.
Yep.
And we got a bunch of dialogue with that. And it was quite symbolic, Kvostov, because it was the start of our journey. And that's what our ghost talks about when you actually pick it up for the second time round. Your ghost says, every ghost looks for their guardian, and I knew you were the one. We don't care what's on the outside. We care for what we can sense on the inside. And I thought, wow, fucking hell, if that was Aldrin with Kvostov, that's a really nice tie-in, because that's what his ghost picks up on. It's the same circle of life. It's the same, yeah. I've rezzed Aldrin. I don't care what he looks like on the outside. We don't care about his history. We care about what we can do in the future.
Yeah. Okay.
But oppositely, he's designed for new players. So,
I feel like it'd be a cruel, like, no, I don't know if cruel's the right word, but I feel like it'd be really off to introduce players to the game using Aldrin, even if he isn't. In that capacity.
That's one of my main criticism is what a waste of a character. Why would you waste a character like Aldrin on players who don't know anything about Aldrin?
Yeah, it's a fair point. Unless there's going to be some step happen. But like, obviously this is a pathway into the game for years to come, right? Like, so sure, Han isn't going to all of a sudden up and fuck off out of the Cosmodrome. So... Do
you know what I was thinking of? And I haven't seen anyone talk about this. And I swear we fucking spoke about it, but I could not find the quote. So maybe you remember. When did they say that they already have too big of a character roster and they want to focus on developing their characters?
That was probably a year ago, honestly. I feel like that was coming into Shadowkeep. And we'd gone through sort of the seasons focusing on each character, like Season of the Drifter, all that sort of stuff. There was like a real double down on not adding any more characters, but fleshing out the ones that are already there. So if I had to have a guess, I'd say it was probably in a couple of months leading up to the release of Shadowkeep.
Yeah. So that one could go either way, because I was like, I honestly think, like, with that in mind, it just feels really odd to introduce another character. Like they must have really revamped the new character experience to have to put in an NPC to help you out, basically.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be a very minor character based on that information.
I think so too, and I think like that the reason that they've added him is because he doesn't matter. Right? Like that he's hey buddy, opinion. I'm out here just doing my fucking business in the Cosmodrome and I see that you've just been risen from a dead body. I'll give you some pointers and send you off to the tower. And there might be 3 levels in it and then fucking that's it. And then he's just there, right? Like,
yeah, that I feel like he's just going to be a very minor character. And I've seen stuff about like, because he obviously has very standard gear on too. Like he's not a very unique NPC model either. Like, and I've used that as it's both pros and fors and against, because we know Aldrin's described as having beat up gear.
Yeah.
So he sort of like fits the build for having dog shit gear.
Yeah.
Because it's so standard. And but the opposite of that is you'd be like, he's not like a drifter. He's not like an Akora. He doesn't look like any unique NPC that is of importance in our game.
Yeah, and unless that is deliberate, it's because he's not important.
Oh, that's how it's meant to be. Like it's all fucking, it's all revealed, you know. So like, So the main thing, the probably main point against it is Aldrin was revived with a couple of really important items that are missing. Doesn't mean that they're not there, but the only things that he was revived with is his beat up gear, a fucking white silk sheet, and a ring which he wears around his neck. And all of those things are missing.
Like, forgive me if this is a question that's just been answered. Like, I can see that if this is a question that has been absolutely 100% answered, I'm going to get fucking the law community just trying to fucking shove their fist down my throat. And that's fair enough. But, like, are people just assuming Uldren's a hunter because he looks like a hunter? Is there any? Yes. Is there a point that, like, it's actually gone, okay, you've been revived and you're a hunter? Or is it just that he kind of has that aesthetic?
Yeah, in Destiny 1, he had the, I want to say Don't Touch Me's exotic, or very similar design to Don't Touch Me's. Someone might be able to correct me in chat. The gauntlets he had on were basically hunter gauntlets, or a variant of hunter gauntlets.
Yeah, okay.
And he also must wear hand cannons on his hip too, right? Something like that. Or
I mean,
there's some
at that
positioning
point,
of weapons.
At that point, wasn't a Guardian. So I don't know. Yeah. I just feel like if they were really going to spring Uldren on us, having him be a fucking warlock or something would probably be much more effective than like the obvious, like, here's Uldren with a fucking mustache and a shit helmet on. Like,
but like, here's also the thing, because my gut reaction's always the same thing. I'm like, nah. But I see why people got excited, because a lot of the things fit. The being in the Cosmodrome, remember the triumph symbol of fucking Prince Uldren's chess piece is in the Cosmodrome, or on the triumph page on Beyond Light.
Yeah, okay.
You remember that?
Yeah. And
then people were speculating, people were already speculating that Uldren might have been a vendor in the Cosmodrome. It's like a lot of things line up, but I still just feel like it doesn't quite make sense.
Do we know that Shaw Han doubles as the Cosmodrome NPC, or is he just there for the new player experience?
I think the only thing we know is that he's there for the new light experience.
That, and the other thing, it refers to him being part of a fire team, right?
Yes.
And Uldren's not, because everyone hates him.
No.
Right?
Yes. See, I always do the same thing. I'm like, well, it wouldn't make any sense for Uldren to help new Guardians, right? Because everyone hates him. But then I'm like, well,
maybe he's just looking for a friend.
Actually, the best people to make friends with would be people that don't know his background.
Yeah, true. But like, how's he going to guide them to being a Guardian when no one's guided him how to be a Guardian? Right? Like, how's he gonna get to a point where he goes, you know what? Just jump in this ship and fuck off to that tower over there that I've never been to, and if I attend, they'll kill me. Like, I can't come with you, but I can't come with you.
Do you know what solves all these problems?
It's not him.
Kara wishes. Because you know what he's wearing.
Yeah, the bones, yeah. Fucking.
Do you see what I mean? So I started this thing. I started this thing, and this. Yeah. Look, that's what the video's about. You basically have
our home Kara wishes are just like the other fucking stupid complicating factor, like time travel. It's just they're forever the fucking crossed fingers behind someone's back, going, oh yeah, oh, but home Kara wishes time travel. It's all fucking undone.
Got him.
Yeah. All right. Look, if you want to jump in and have a chat directly to us, you can do that. Jump in the Discord, !Discord in the chat. What I'm going to do, I'm going to read out a question from Twitter, because I actually thought ahead to ask if anyone had questions I want to ask. If you want to ask a question in chat, you're more than welcome to do that as well. But we like to get people in and have an actual chat to us. So there's a waiting room channel in the DDU Discord. You'll see the little DDU orb floating around in the host channel. But if you want to jump into the waiting room, you are more than welcome to do so now. All right, let's have a quick look. Where are we? What are you most looking forward to what are you most looking forward to post Beyond Light launch in game? From Chris Fanning on Twitter. Right,
that's a good question, because you know, this is a part where Destiny falls down. Like, you done the grind, you done the raid. I think what will be exciting is actually spending some time on my other characters with the new subclass, because it's been a long time since I've used any other characters, and I think probably a new subclass would get me back into experimenting a bit with the Titans and the Warlocks again. That'll keep me there for a bit.
Yeah, I can pick up on that. I had a lot of fun last time. Honestly, I didn't even have alts until fucking what Season of Arrival started. I started them then, so I think they were sitting around, but I'd never used them seriously. So I've sort of gotten more into that. I'm playing sort of on all three characters now, as much as I haven't really touched the Hunter as much, but the Warlock I'm playing probably more on that than I have on my Titan. I know that people are going to fucking say heresy, whatever. I can get that. The thing that I'm looking forward to, and I hope that this is something that we see, is a bit of a refresh of the game overall. I think like more gear, new gear, more, like Destiny at its core is just, it's a fashion game, man. Like that's the stuff, as much as it runs contrary to literally everything I'm about in fucking actual life, I love getting in there and making my gear look the way I want it to look. And the more options I have for that, the better. New shaders, new stuff is, it. Maybe there'd be cool looking guns too.
It's got to be with the new armor system and experimenting with builds with stasis, I guess.
Yep.
I feel like that's probably going to be, because typically I don't really play post raids or dungeons, or like once I've done the end game content, like I'm usually out of there, and I'm probably most excited to play fucking Cyberpunk. But
yeah,
the build. Have you seen some of the Cyberpunk stuff?
I have. I think that we'll wait for like a slow week. We're probably not going to get one leading into it, but I want to play Cyberpunk, but I also know that they're going to launch the fucking multiplayer, like the co-op later. Later. So part of me is like, fuck, because you know what I'm like. I'm super. I need that social thing. I get fucking, like I don't need to be in here of a night fucking playing a game by myself, right? Like I'm a social creature, and that's largely what I do. Streaming for and playing video games for. So I'm thinking that I might even wait until that launches to do it then. I don't know. I'm still umming and ahhing about it. All right, what we're gonna do? We're gonna drag Degraded Nut in. He's lurking in the waiting room. I'll do that now.
There's some messages as well in chat.
Yep, we'll get to him in a sec. I don't want to keep people waiting too long in their thing. Mr. Nut, hello.
How's it going, guys?
Good, mate. How are you?
Hey, mate.
I'm doing good. Enjoying my Friday night. It's your guys' Saturday midday, right?
Oh, it's yeah. For Maddie, it is. Yeah. So, what do you want to have a yarn about, mate? What's on the tip of your tongue?
I know it's been slow for the past, month or so, but I know Matt's been playing other games. Are you guys just excited that come November? I mean, you guys just said Cyberpunk's coming out. What kind of games have you guys been looking to jump into, like just recently or leading up to? Because I know a couple streamers I watched are like, I kind of want to do some variety before Beyond Light comes out, because everyone's probably going to be grinding it for months on end.
Yeah,
especially with that big drop.
It's been I think it's been really cool, because I think not really cool. I think because Beyond Light was delayed, I do think it allowed a lot of people in the Destiny directory to feel comfortable playing other things, and we saw like Among Us come through, and we saw other social games come through, and I think it gave a lot of people confidence to play something else apart from Destiny. So that's been cool to see. I'm just trying to wonder what else is on my list. Cyberpunk's the big one.
I think
that I'm keen to play at the moment. What else is coming out?
The new, what do we call it for GTFO next week, isn't it? I'm going to jump in and play that with you boys because I
Yeah,
have something to
boy.
prove to myself in kind of slightly scary, tense games that I need to be able to grow up. So I'm going to do that and put on my big boy pants and give that a go. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of the boring one of the two of us in that respect. I've mainly just played Destiny and stick at it. So I'm sure Matty's got a list as long as his arm of shit.
No, I'm just trying to think. I probably should now that I'm a professional streamer, I probably should look into this a bit more.
Assassin's Creed the Valhalla one? Is Assassin's Creed the Viking one?
Coming out.
Yeah, I could give that a go.
Valhalla's coming out.
What about you, Nuts?
Is that coming out at the same time? Well, like kind of this season when they kind of announced the delay, I kind of took it like I was running it this season super hardcore. And I was just like, they delayed it. Let me just go see other games. I've had a back catalog that I'm like, yeah, I'll do. And I just kept finding myself playing Crucible for 5 hours straight. But Rogue Company, that's been a big one. That's a lot of fun. I just started to play Genshin Impact.
Too, right?
Rogue Company is free to play. It's a lot of fun. Like if you want that like quick, fast-paced action, but like just added with that Crucible feel, like it's a lot of fun. I find myself playing like hours on end of it, and with the best part is 3-peaking is the main part of the game. It's like, so you're telling me I can go from one.
Just don't bring that shit back into Destiny, dude. Fuck.
Don't worry, I'm not putting a sword on unless I just forget to take it off.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited for Cyberpunk.
Demon Souls on PlayStation 5 as well. Like I don't have a PlayStation
this
5,
November,
but I would have really enjoyed it if I did have a PlayStation 5.
Is Sony doing, like, I know Xbox's big push right now is that like all their games you can play on PC or their console. Is Sony putting any of their games on Steam? I thought I read somewhere that they were putting some, but probably not all. Or at least they were trying to be a little bit more gamer friendly.
I feel like Xbox is going to smash PlayStation in the next 1 to 2 years just because of the services they're providing.
I feel like the infrastructure is better. I mean, I've felt like that for a while.
Yeah,
but like PSN.
Mate, I can get an Xbox from Telstra now. Xbox Series X.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, dude. It's just delivered to your house tomorrow or whatever. It's fucking crazy.
I can sign up with our major fucking internet provider with a plan and get an Xbox with it.
No, that was a good question.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Good. That's food for thought. It's people need to be doing this sort of stuff while they've got the opportunity. If they're Destiny lifers, to take a little bit of downtime and turn it into something positive is a big deal. So, good shit, dude.
Yeah, I talked to my clan members about that. I was like, hey, listen, guys, play a different game. Like, the more you play this and the less things you can do, like, you're just gonna get frustrated. There's so many good games out right now and a lot of good games coming this coming month. Just take some time off. Like, the game's not going anywhere. It's been around for 5 years now.
We've got a roadmap. It's going to be around for another fucking 2 years at least. So we know that. No need to fucking stress. Yeah. All right, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks.
Cheers, mate.
See you, mate.
All right. We'll do one from chat. And then we'll fucking hell. Holy shit. Stop talking so much, everyone. Bombish. 3-peaking can eat my actual ass. Yes. Yes. I think you'll find most agree. It's legit shit. All right, Doc Morris. Morris. With Iron Banner being pretty stagnant and boring the past few years, do you think they'll bring forward Lady Aphrodite or Shiro 4 into Destiny 2? As characters, I assume. I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I think that ties back to what we were talking about a little bit before, where there's enough characters right now, enough turning cogs and, little set pieces to set up that they probably don't need to bring in. I'm surprised that they didn't use like Shiro for Shohan, right? Like, they're basically the same fucking character.
Makes sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, right? He's already on Earth. So, maybe there's something progresses with the Hunter Vanguard thing, and I don't know. I mean, He's a hunter.
That's a really good point. Why didn't they use Shiro? He's just sitting out there. And his whole thing is he explores like Fallen and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know. And as for Lady Aphrodite, she doesn't want to fight anything, so she can just, I don't know, maybe she's retired. Pacifist.
I don't know what to say about characters in Destiny. I just feel like I can't predict anything with them. I don't know which way they're going. They say that I want to add, they say that I want to increase their roster, and then boom, here's a new character. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope that we do see them at some point, but honestly, at this point, I feel it's kind of unlikely. Like there's been obvious opportunities like that for them to use those characters, and they've not been. So time will tell, I guess. I mean,
I'll be surprised if we got Law and Aphrodite before we fucking figured out what happened with the curse in the Dreaming City.
Maybe she's tied up in that somehow. That's this fucking knot of law that's just, it's the black hole that things keep falling in.
Yeah, Aphrodite is Sabathun.
Oh, you heard it here first. All right. Oh, we had someone in the waiting room and they've vanished, so we'll do another one from chat. That's all good. Timey-wimey law question. What if the Vex evolved from the Exo Stranger because time travel? Do we think that the Vex could...
Yeah. Thought about that. Yeah. That came up in that Deepstone Crypt lore where we had basically a Vex structure next to an Exo, sort of indicating that Exos were developed from Vex, and of course what would happen if the pinnacle of that experimentation would be a Exo who could time travel, who had the options of a Vex. So yes, I like that theory. I can't remember all the details, but I think it's possible. Timey-wimey.
Oh, Rezo Void. He is the biggest question of them all. The one that governs the fate of the podcast if me and Matt don't kill each other before 2022. What do you think or hope Bungie will do after Lightfall in 2022?
I hope that they make a new IP. The story fucking bombs. It's super confusing but detailed, and then I just make lore videos about that. No.
No, I don't. A repeat of Destiny.
That is 100% why I am making other types of videos on my channel, so that I can still earn a living when Destiny finishes and not be attached to only Destiny lore. Whatever Bungie makes, I think... I just sort of assumed that they'll always have a lore aspect to it. They did it with Halo. They've done it with Destiny.
It well. They've always done it well. There's always been a depth of the universe. You know, like not necessarily like implemented it well, but there's always been enough of a story going on behind things to engage people.
I don't want to get my hopes up, but, you know, everyone knows it's about the head start you have when it comes to like content creation, and all the people that got quite big in Destiny had already been doing YouTube for quite a while in other directories, and then Destiny came along. Destiny makes another IP and that goes well. I'm hoping that because we've been doing podcasting for quite a while and I've been making content quite a while, that, you know, we'll be able to adapt to whatever that new IP is more quickly than, you know, someone else trying to enter YouTube creation, content creation, and have some success with it. So, you know, be exciting time, be pretty fucking scary. Be pretty scary if that now it's like this is the end of Destiny, like no more lore books.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's nothing that's like the clear heir to the throne, right? Like, by the way, we're just making fucking Sudoku fucking games from now on. So good luck with that, and we're gonna make fucking gacha games like Weebshin and fucking stuff. I don't know. Is there any lore in Weebshin, Matt?
There is.
Okay. That's all I needed to know. I don't want to know any about it at all. All right, we're going to pull Shaman in. Shaman,
you mean?
Shaman. Oh my. Why do you do this
Another game,
all the
man.
time? How do you pronounce your own name?
I don't know, man. You asked this last time too.
Oh, really?
Got a short memory, man.
Shaman.
It is Shaman.
Like a witch. Surely.
What do you want to talk about, Shaman? What do you got?
So I wanted to ask you guys if, with the new expansion coming out, looking back on this storytelling of each expansion, I don't know if, in my opinion, it's kind of getting worse. Like taking was it the Red War? I think when
The
you
launch
had
of Destiny
kind
2.
of like the start. Yeah, you had the start, the middle, and an end, a clear end. You defeat the bad guy, and that's it. Then we go to, let's take Forsaken. It's kind of, things get a little bit more confusing, I would say, because I played it after it had launched, so I don't know if there was missing pieces I didn't get, but I kind of found confusing. I didn't really understand what Alduran was doing, like what his motivation was. He was like a bunch of cutscenes, like I don't know, he's like taken by the darkness and some crazy thing eats him, and then he reappears magically and we kill him, and then I never saw the cutscene of him being revived, so for the longest time I didn't even know about that. And then we get Shadowkeep, and I don't know, I played it and I didn't really ever feel like I completed it. I don't know what the end is. Then I saw your Mylan's video about all this lore that was in the special edition with the little book that you get, and you kind of need to get 1,000 little pieces of in-game information, lore books, web lore, and God knows what else to kind of understand what's happening. So do you think Beyond Light is going to be more of that, or do you think they're going to go back to a Red War beginning, middle, end? You did this. This is what happened.
I actually think it might be closer to Red War because Deepstone Crypt seems so disconnected from a story about Eramis and the darkness. I think the thing that complicated Forsaken is, or a lot of the lore then extended into the raid and the curse. It was sort of ongoing. It didn't really resolve in the campaign. It sort of kept going. I'm hoping it might be similar to Rise of Iron, or even back to original Destiny, which was like the raid story was actually separate from the campaign story. Like you finished, well, sort of not, like you didn't have to do the raid to get a conclusion, so to speak.
I think that's where it's kind of started to really become confusing for players who are dipping in and out of the game a little bit, is that like the campaigns of late have been kind of like a prologue to the end game of that season in a way. So you go through and you do all this.
It comes from Taken King, because the fucking formula for Taken King was so good, where you had a campaign, you killed Oryx in this realm, and then you went into his fucking home turf. It was very easy to market like Taken King. It was like, hey, kill him on our battlefield, then go and kill him on his battlefield. You didn't really need to understand the whole idea of fucking throne worlds and sword logic and all this kind of bullshit. You just knew you were taking the battle to him. And I think they've it's been hard to replicate that because of the complexity of like Destiny's lore in giving you like a discrete campaign mission where people can walk away feeling satisfied, and also not just tack on a raid. It's like, and here's a raid. Oh, guess what? There's a witch dragon. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how you merge it. It's very complex, to be honest.
I honestly, to answer your question, Shaman, I don't know. It's one of those things we're gonna have to wait and see. But I kind of do agree with Matt. I feel like everything here is kind of in the one direction, and I hope that means a more cohesive story. Because I totally understand where you're coming from. Even looking at Shadowkeep, like the Shadowkeep campaign, kind of the whole thing just set up a question for the next year, right? And like that's cool, but it didn't necessarily come to like a conclusion either. It kind of felt like, okay, it ended with a cutscene where you meet your dark self and then cool,
I honestly think after playing
I guess oh sorry, go.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
We get to talk every fucking week.
I guess
so
I expected that Shadowkeep to be more campaign like, I guess, because it makes sense on like it's not seasons, it's seasons, right? The sub campaigns, I guess.
Yep.
To do a more exploratory thing, like leave an open question for future campaigns or something like that. But I guess Shadowkeep was more like, it felt more like a season to me than a campaign, I guess.
Yeah.
Because there
I'll
wasn't
agree with that.
like a
Yeah. I wish we had an answer, man. It's one of those things you can sit and sort of, I don't know. I hope we do get a more cohesive story. Not in terms of like, just I don't know. I feel like something pretty significant needs to happen. I like personally going through Forsaken at the time. I felt like it was pretty good, but I also consumed a lot of content outside the game that explained it as I went along, because it was we were all living it at the time. I can totally see how experiencing that after the fact, without without that extra sort of supplemental information that you pick up by talking to your mate that you host a podcast with, it's a fucking lore master, it might be a little bit difficult to understand.
Yeah. I honestly think after playing Halo that Bungie still has not been able to replicate in-game storytelling anywhere close to what they've previously achieved. And I feel like their resources, Halo's a completely different game, and their resources are now spread across weapons, armor, this, that, PvP, PvE, like all these other things. And what it boils down to now is just getting a verbal piece of dialogue whilst you're frantically shooting XYZ boss. And it's not the best for in-game storytelling. Typically, these expansions have better storytelling because they add cutscenes, but it just doesn't have the right. It doesn't come anywhere near the polish you get from Halo campaign.
Yeah,
but you actually know what the fuck is going on. Do you know? It's like I always felt like the flow of Halo was just perfect. Guys, we've got to go do this mission. This is why it's important. Off you go. Boom, you're in a fucking Pelican. They're briefing you. You're flying back into the next battle. You don't really get that continuity in Destiny. It's like, hey, fuck over Nokris. All right, you're in this right mission. Hey, Nokris is dead.
Cool. Go back to the tower. Buy some
tower.
shit. Go shopping. Fucking dismantle some garbage. Yeah, I get what you mean. All right. Well, I mean, that was a kind of deflating non-answer to your question, but we hope you enjoyed it all the same, Shaman.
That's all right. I kind of wanted to get your opinion more than an answer.
Well,
yeah,
because
maybe.
I don't know if there is an answer, because maybe I'm looking at it wrong, because I'm looking at it like it's a problem that, well, if you come in late and you want to replay the campaigns, maybe it's a shitty experience. But if you're playing current content, maybe it's an enhanced experience because it's not limited to the game. You're interacting with content creators or...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I think there needs to be a balance, though. There needs to be a balance between being able to jump into a game, and then if you want to take it further, you can go and look at My Name is Bife, right?
All right, Shaman, thank you very much for jumping in, mate.
No worries.
Cheers, mate. That was a pretty fair question, to be honest. I'd not stopped to consider that, and I think that
It's a good question.
it does make me hope that they're going to tighten it up a little bit, given everything's happening on Europa. But fucking who knows?
I just think it would make such a fucking huge difference if they put more resources into just once a year into an awesome campaign mission.
Campaign sequence, not one mission. You mean like?
Yeah, like a campaign.
A campaign
sequence.
A campaign. Yeah, I agree. Here's a quick one. Here's a quick one from Hippie. What is both of your favorite spirits? Matt, what's your favorite spirits?
As in drinking, I mostly drink Captain Morgan.
Yep, I could have answered that, and mine is Scotch, any variety. I don't really give a shit. I've been drinking a lot of Dimple of late. I don't know. It's not overly expensive. The 15-year one's fucking great. So if you're a bit of a degenerate, get on that. Right, what else have we got? Okay. Oh, hang on. We've got two super dorks in. We'll pull him in so we don't leave anyone in the lurch. But we might sort of wrap up after this one. Super dorks, g'day. How you going?
Hello.
What's going on, mate?
Not much. I was just watching the podcast. First time catching it live in a little while now.
Why would you do that?
Nice.
Surely there's something better that you can be doing at your time.
Yeah. You know what would surprise me more? If he said, I wasn't watching the podcast, I was just chilling out in the Discord and somehow I'm fucking here.
Yeah, that would be more on brand. I think I just got confused and I clicked this thing and now what's happening? What do you want to talk about, mate? What's going on?
So I had just an idea thinking about like where the story could go in the future, mainly with Lightfall.
Yep.
I was thinking about the back in the season with Saint 14 when we got Bastion or whatever that fusion rifle was called from our own grave, and how we could get to that point and what's happening now. I was thinking maybe what Lightfall could be is the Traveler turning against us because of us like taking some of the like dark powers and trying to walk this gray in between. The Traveler could turn against us, because I was trying to think of like what the Traveler's done in the past, and it's like with Red War, for example. I don't think it was saving us. I think it was saving itself, because it didn't attack Gaul when the Dragardians or civilization as everything was dying. It only attacked Gaul when Gaul started draining its light.
Yeah.
I think like that would be an incredible way to wrap up a franchise. I think people would be very conflicted emotionally if it sort of all came full circle and we ended up, I mean, bar the circular traveler pun, but if it came full circle and we ended up realizing that maybe we'd not been doing the right thing all along. I think.
Imagine if we were the dark future that Exo Stranger's been talking about the whole time and trying to prevent, and it was us.
And it's an eternal war. Yeah. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. I'll say that. I don't know that they'll. I mean, it would be a pretty dour, like a somber way to end what will then be a 7-year franchise, if they do choose to end it. I don't know. I'm kind of just assuming at that point. But yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else that you want to add? Like, is there any other dots you've connected that you want to share?
Not that I can really think of. But
you know what?
Yeah,
the reason I would say the Traveler wouldn't reject us, because there's no way they can find out like what voice they should put with the Traveler. Like,
yeah, it's like, aren't they going to do like Alanis Morissette, like in Dogma? It's like just fucking God.
It's just Paul McCartney.
No, it's just that song just plays. No, they just get Morgan Freeman and it's done. They've only got to pay him once. Easy. Easy casting choice. Or David Attenborough,
Morgan.
one of the two.
Oh mate, look, David Attenborough's got to be. We got to lose him soon. It's going to be a fucking.
Don't talk like that. Don't talk like that.
Dude, he's 92.
You know what? If this, to be perfectly honest, if someone's got to be immortal at some point, and I'm perfectly fine with him being the first. I don't want him to. I feel like this world will just be instantly shit if David Attenborough is no longer around. Anyway, let's not talk about the demise of globally loved naturalists. Let's fucking keep it on Destiny, eh?
In general, I don't think it will betray us, the Traveler. I don't think the darkness of the Traveler will ever become more than like a ominous character that fucking doesn't speak or anything like that. I think it's just going to be there.
It's a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
It's a plot device. Oh, dude, thank you for jumping in, Dorks. That was a pretty I don't know, a tangent. I think a lot of people are probably starting to feel like it might go that way. So I think you'll find a lot of other people think similarly. So cheers, man.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime, dude. Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
There's another person in the waiting room, Matt.
Is it Senchi?
It's Senshi.
I'll drag him in.
Senshi. Sench.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
What's going on?
You know what?
You're doing the pod-
Yeah, we're doing the podcast, mate. Is that... We're just doing the podcast for a bit. I know that you're lurking around. You're just taking the piss. Do you want to... I reckon Senshi can pick a question from chat. That's how we can use Senshi's presence here. He
that works out really well because I jumped in the waiting room and forgot my fucking question.
All right, go and find something. Okay. And look, and if you're playing the home game and you haven't been around when Senshi's jumped in before, he's one of our good mates, and we put up with his shit. I think we might make this our last one though. You've ruined it for everyone else.
Well, in the interim, I was just in the TA chat channel with the boys, and Deadman wanted to ask something about a phone call that came up in your stream the other day with DMG.
What?
About Deadman, and
what?
Has he put me on the spot? I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I was taking the piss. I was taking the piss out of Maddie, and now Maddie does the phone call fucking thing. Yeah, I was, because everyone was, I got a bullshit roll on. I can't even remember what fucking Warlock exotic it was. And it was, and everyone's like, oh, fucking stream alert. So I just pretended that I was ringing up Deej to say thanks. That's all it was. And now he's fucking left. So who am I going to fucking call now?
Really?
All right. Come on, Senshi. It's not that hard. You just got to read the fucking words, mate.
Oh, something about big jobs, something about Maker's Mark.
Get him out. Get him out.
Yeah, get him
No,
off.
no,
Nah, he's gone.
Kick him.
Fucking idiot. He'll be back next week anyway. All right, and on that note, good job, dickhead. Ruined it for everyone.
We did. I saw Don't Mask Truth was going to try jump in about Midnight Exigent, which is like a Rasputin protocol. Fucking, I don't know. I can't quite remember what protocol we're in at the moment and if it's still around or not. I don't know. I'm feeling a bit down today about the whole lore. Maybe just because we haven't got anything new recently. I'm just feeling a bit.
I reckon what you need is a big, fat, juicy lore bone to chew on. I think you'll get one. Oh, geez, that sounded like a euphemism. You know what? It wasn't intended as a euphemism, but it definitely sounded like one. Who gave fucking Senshi permissions to join this thing?
I remembered my question.
All right, what is it? Fucking better be a good one, mate, honestly. Better be a fucking good one.
So everyone else I've spoken to doesn't seem to agree with this, but I feel pretty... The Toland the Shattered apparition on the moon isn't Toland the Shattered. Is that wrong or is that right?
What do you mean?
I have been under the belief ever since Shadowkeep came out that is actually a manifestation of either the Triangle Ship or some other being. I'm not going to jump straight on the bandwagon and say Savathun,
Wait,
But
the little ghosts
have you had
that are around
Yes.
Erismorn. Yeah, they're fucking
No.
hallucinations from the pyramid ship.
No, not those. You know,
Nah,
when you
the
go around the
Tolan,
patrol
the
area.
fucking orb.
The Tolan ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think that's Tolan.
get him out. Get him out.
All right.
He just stumped himself. I've got no evidence to back Senshi up. But you know what? He's normally more switched on than me, so there's probably something to it. So if you're out there, wherever you are, listening to this fucking podcast, if you've got any information that will support Senshi, we want to hear about it. Because while that was probably the shittest 3 minutes of this podcast ever, we still want an answer.
I'll have a look at it because I'm desperate. I'm desperate for topics. So send it to me, mate. We'll have a look.
All right. Well, look, wherever you are listening to this podcast, whether it's you're on the moon, anywhere around the world, or at the Earth's magma core, thank you very much. Whether you're listening to it, watching it, or magma, my favorite word. No, thank you very much. And like for those of you who've jumped on and decided to support the Patreon and all that stuff as well, it's you know, as much as Destiny's been in a rough spot for a couple of months because there's been not much going on for the podcast, it's been gangbusters. So cheers for all your support. We see it, we appreciate it, and it's you know, we're gonna keep this fucking train rolling on into the next year of Destiny. So rock and roll, Maddie. Where will the law find people this week?
Okay. You wake up.
He's setting a scene.
You wake up. Oh, where am I? Oh, there's a floating orb in front of me. What are you? I'm a ghost. And you're my guardian. Hey, come have a look over here. I found a hunter in the wild. He wants to talk to you. Off you pop. Trod, moving over to the hunter.
Hi. His voice.
My name is Melon. What's yours? He removes the mask. I am. And it's just like a law book. The law. Just his head's a fucking book. The law has found you. See ya.
The law
Bye-bye.
has found you. Judge Dredd. There you go. I am the law. All right. We'll see you next week. All right. Bye.